All right. All right. So, class one. Now, when I pull up the PowerPoint, you want to make sure your chat is set to all panelists and attendees, by the way. When I pull up the PowerPoint, I won't be able to see the chat as good. And you're going to have lots of questions. What I'm going to ask you to do is talk amongst yourselves, help one another, but hold or either write down your questions until I stop the share, because I just can't, I won't be able to see, and I'll get distracted, and some people that want me to get in and out of here are going to get upset with me if I get distracted and I'm answering a bunch of questions. So wait until I stop the share and come out of there, and then we'll go through some questions, and then we'll spend time at the end. We'll have some bonus time, some overtime, if some of you need that. It's important stuff we're doing here, okay? No, this is not a challenge. This is not a challenge. This is just class. If you have sent in your commitment form, you've basically registered, and then from there forward, if your name is on the list, I'll be sending you where to meet for class. It'll be the same time, same day, but a different registration link so we can keep it to the people who are really doing this. 4-week class. All right, so let me get the PowerPoint up. Bear with me. Here we go. We're on the runway. Here we go. Taking off. Class one, everybody. Good to have everybody. Wouldn't it be amazing for 170 of you to start tonight and finish in 4 weeks 20 pounds down? Can you do the math? Can you do the math? Wow. All right, so let's do it. Lesson one. A thing that begins right will end right. Isn't that the truth in life? So many times there's things that we want to do and we want to accomplish, but we don't begin right. We jump in there, half-cocked, get going, don't know what we're doing, get frustrated, can't figure out why we can't do it like everybody else is doing it. You have to start right. It's like that old story. I can't remember it verbatim, but y'all know the story. I think Stephen Covey tells it a lot. Before trying to chop down the tree with a dull axe, sharpen your axe, and then chopping the tree down is a lot better. This is called sharpening the axe. When we start something right, it's going to end right. Our day, and again, sometimes I feel like when I rehear myself, it sounded condescending, and my heart doesn't mean it condescending. I just have this opportunity to see all these people's struggles, and it's a blessing, but it's a curse. It's a blessing, but it's a curse. And I see, I dare to say, I'll go with Pareto's law. 80% of our people, their problems are created in their own minds, and they can't seem to get past their own self. And they don't want to hear any of the stuff that is the sharpening of the axe part. They just want the axe. It's like tonight. Inevitably, somebody not listening to me right now washing dishes that tunes in and out, and I understand that, you'll ask in a minute, when we get into the food part? We get there, but you've got to sharpen the axe. Look, if you could do it your way, wouldn't you have already done it? This actually happened to me one time. I say that a lot. If you could do it your way, wouldn't you have already done it? If you didn't need help, wouldn't you have already done it? If you know it all, wouldn't you have already done it? Had one person say, the reason they lost weight and kept it off because they got so mad at me for saying that. They wanted to show me that they could do it without me. And when they did, I said, well, it was a win-win. I didn't have to support you. I didn't have to deal with you, and you still lost the weight. Because that's what our heart wants for you, is for you to lose the weight. But I really believe for most people, if you was going to do it, you would have already done it. So obviously, you have some things to learn and to change your way of thinking about things. A thing that begins right will end right. You've got to get yourself daily in the right frame of mind. You don't have the right frame of mind, one might say the right state of mind, you can forget it. This has got to be done daily, not even, excuse me, not even just daily, but constantly throughout the day. I think that's why the Bible said pray without ceasing. You know, you're going to have to keep your goals on your mind daily. We're doing a Relapsed to Reloaded group. And every week I ask them to jump through hoops. And of course the number keeps going down because they get tired of jumping through hoops. But the hoop jumping is important because at the beginning of each week, because of the hoop jumping, they understand, okay, I'm officially in now and I got to give my best this week. Some hoop jumping is necessary just for you to value whatever you're doing. You've got to do something tonight and tomorrow and the next day to get yourself in the right frame of mind. This is very easy stuff. I get them angry faces when I say this. But I don't know what good it does, even if it were hard. I don't know what good it does for you or me to tell ourselves that it's hard, even if it were. You're just making, even if you're successful, you're making your walk harder. But here's the truth. And if you do some soul searching and you dig down deep, now friend, if you dig deep, there's no way a reasonable-minded person can say that eating 3 healthy meals per day is hard. This is so easy. This is one statement that I make that I will keep making. Usually if it's not going over well, I'll quit making it and I'll try a different approach, but I'm just going to keep saying it. You say it's hard for me? Look at what the Bible says. It says it's your reasonable service. It didn't say it's your hard service to be a living sacrifice and do everything you do unto the Lord. It didn't say that. It says it's your reasonable service. This is reasonable stuff. It is very reasonable for you to eat breakfast for the Father, lunch for the Son, dinner for the Holy Spirit, control your portions, and do that daily. You're getting more food in a day, even when you're doing this thing the strictest way. You're getting more food in a day than 2/3 of the world's population. The United States of America is the most obese country, modern country on the planet. I think Samoa or something like that, they beat us. But it's because of us westernizing their opportunities. So this is easy stuff. And again, even if it were hard, it's much harder staying where you're at. At some point, we just have to swallow hard, dig down deep, exhale, put our big boy, big girl britches on, do what we got to do. I submit this to you. If you could go there in your mind, if the doctor told you today, if you put one more slice of white bread or its kinfolk, white rice or its kinfolk, white pasta or its kinfolk in your mouth, you're going to drop dead. But there's a cure. All you got to do is have perfect days. You probably would never have another holiday because you fear dropping dead. But you've been tricked. You've been duped into thinking, one more bite won't hurt you. You won't surely die. Sound familiar? But guess what happens? If you begin with the end in mind, the devil wins. You die. Adam and Eve, they were told, you won't die right now. Wink, wink. But it's coming, and you'll dig yourself such a deep hole you won't want to get out of it. This is easy. I want you to tell yourself, this is easy. Change your mindset. Find your motivation. What do you want out of this? What do you want that's outside of you? What do you want that's outside of you? Do you want people to respect you more? Do you want, it's even been shown that lean people make more money than heavy people, statistically speaking. You can talk about this kind of stuff all day. Whatever it is you want, what's outside of you that this journey would be worth it that you could get? I think more importantly is find your inspiration. It's our duty and obligation to do this. Especially if we're Christian, it's our duty and obligation to lose the weight and try to live a clean and healthy life to the best of our ability in our own weak way. But you got to find inspiration. What's your inspiration? Because the things that motivate you outside of your being won't always be there. If I could talk you into it every hour of every day, I would, but it won't work. You've got to find something within. You've got to find inspiration within. I've got a friend of mine. I helped them lose a lot of weight. They did the work. I helped them do it. And I was in their ear every day, text messages, phone calls, every day. And after a while, it seemed like I couldn't do anything to motivate them. And in fact, what they said, well, it's you. It's just you, Trav. You know, I got used to you, and we developed a friendship through this, and I don't know, I don't listen to you like I once did. So if I'm in your ear every day, it won't be long. You want me out your ear. So you got to find something within that gets this done. Colossians 3:23 says, whatever you do, here's something that should be inspiring to you if you are lovers of the Lord. Whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men. So we're not just doing what we're doing for external reasons. We're doing this because whatever we do, we want to work heartily as for the Lord and not for men. And I got news for you. Okay? When you work for men give you a payday. Some of you will give me a payday. Some of you will send $5 to me. You give me a tip. Like if I was waiting on you at a restaurant, you give me a tip, $5 tip. Some might even give me more. Might like me a little better than others and give me a better tip. See, if I work for you, you give to me. If you work for me, I'll give to you. But here's something about working under the Lord in your heart. The Lord is a looker of the heart. He's a seeker of the heart. When you start doing this not for men, and you're doing it in your heart under the Lord, look out. He's going to bless you tenfold, 100-fold, 1,000-fold in areas of your life that you did not even, it has nothing to do with your waistline because you were doing it under the Lord. Idolatry, thing that begins right will end right. I get in trouble over this one too. I must like getting in trouble. Idolatry. The definition is extreme admiration, love or reverence for something or someone. Of course, a food addiction lines up with idolatry. Of course it does. Well, I mean, what else could you call it when I was 300 pounds, 4 prescription medications, prescribed even more medications that I did not take, took the 4, prescribed others, no self-confidence, no self-esteem, but continued to eat portions that would kill a horse and graze all day. Eat when I wasn't hungry, eat for entertainment, eat for boredom, eat for relaxation, whatever. That's extreme love for something. That's idolatry. Does this look familiar? Think about this. Look at the little fella bowing down. Bowing down. What's he bowing down to? Not just a golden image in this picture. He's bowing down for ice cream. That's not nutritious. That's not nutritious. To consume that, you need to be putting in the work and earning the right to consume that and have a treat occasionally. Occasionally. I wonder in the past year how many people here who had a goal of weight loss, I wonder how much ice cream you ate. Did you earn the right to do that? Certainly you could have had it 72 days a year. Can anybody tell me why 72 days a year? Because those are the holidays that you have when you're in the weight loss mode, and you shouldn't think about that. You get, oh my goodness, think about this. You get 6 holidays a month. If all of your other days are perfect, not just so-so, but perfect, 72 out of 365 days, you get to take a vacation and eat what you want. But those other days, you can't be so-so. You can't have ice cream because it presents itself. Temptation is always going to present itself. And it's going to present itself more when it's your idol because you're looking for it all the time. And listen, the more you fall for the temptation, the more temptation you'll find because Satan will orchestrate things and situations so that it's always there. What does the Bible say? Even when I would do good, evil is always present with me. Ice cream's not evil. I'm not saying it's evil, but I'm saying that the evil one that knows that this is your weakness and your downfall is going to present you with it and say, one more bite won't hurt you. It will. You can't bow down to this stuff anymore. You can put pizza on the top of this. You can put ice cream. You can put bread. Whatever you want to put there. Stop bowing down. When am I or someone going to press your trigger and get you to get in a fight with this thing? There's a time for war and there's a time for peace. When you got a problem like this, it's time to go to war, people. You may do it loud and passionately, or you may do it internally and passionately. But you're going to have to get in a fight with it if you're ever going to get it done. This complacency's got to go. Inevitable. I won't throw anybody under the bus, but I'm going to get email after email after email after email after email after this is over, and you will literally pull your own hair out reading some of this stuff where people are just so humdrum, complacent, no fire, no fight. You got a lot to fight for here. You got a lot to fight for, your true identity. Some of us have lost sight of who we even are in the Lord. We're not a bunch of cattle and livestock that needs to graze all day and eat this junk. Let's swear it off. Exodus 23:13. Pay attention to all that I've said to you and make no mention of the names of other gods, nor let it be heard on your lips. Thus saith the Lord, the King of Israel and his Redeemer, the Lord of hosts, I am the first and I am the last. Besides me, there's no God. In other words, you don't need this stuff for your boredom. You don't need this for your pain. You need me. You shall not go after other gods, the gods of the peoples who are around you. Think about that verse. We're all good people. We're children of the living God. So why are we falling for this? Why are we destroying our own temples? Because we're following after the gods of the people around us. Listen, we go to church on Sunday. We can't even get out of church before people trying to figure out where we're going to go eat. They got new gods. I ain't talking about somebody that's taking care of themselves and Sunday happens to be their holiday. I'm talking about people that do this every day. They didn't love church. They loved socializing and going back to the nursery. They didn't want to listen to the preacher. About 10 of them went back to the nursery when there's only 3 kids in the church. And I've seen it all. And then they talk about losing weight, and the first thing they want to talk about is, hey, giggle, giggle, giggle. I'm just telling it like it is. Get mad if you want to. Giggle, giggle, giggle. Where are we going to eat? And then we go eat and gossip. Whew. Jesus said to him, I'm the way, I'm the truth, I'm the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. This is to say this. We forget God's got many names. Wonderful Counselor, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace, all these wonderful names. So what does this say? Jesus is saying, I'm the way, I'm the truth and the life. No one comes to leanness and health and wellness and peace except through me. You're going to have to go through Jesus if you're getting back in that Garden of Eden. They sacrificed to demons that were no gods, to gods they had never known, to new gods that had come recently, whom your fathers had never dreaded. I can't tell you how many times every day I get some email about a new pill, potion, something crazy, always searching for the next thing instead of just staying with the stuff that works. Stay with God. We're almost out of the preaching, all right? 1 Corinthians 15:58, therefore, my beloved, be steadfast, be immovable. Remember, prepare the mind tonight. 4 weeks, go to war. My beloved, be steadfast, be immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that the work you do in the Lord, it's not vain. You start working for the Lord and then you weigh, and you have a good weigh day after 2 days. Then on the 3rd day, you don't have a good weigh day and you want to quit working for the Lord. He ain't even got ready to bless you yet. Stay with it. The way I read my Bible, you don't reap before you sow. You sow before you reap. And if you sow unto the Lord and you sow spiritual things, self-discipline is a spiritual thing. It's a fruit of the Spirit. It's a spirit. Self-discipline is a spirit. Some people say, I'm not self-disciplined, Brother Travis. I tell you, it's because you tapped into the flesh and the works of the flesh and not tapped into the Spirit and the works of the Spirit. Self-discipline is not a work of the flesh. It's not possible. The Spirit's willing, the flesh is weak. To be self-disciplined, you're going to have to get in the prayer closet and tap back into the right frequency. Therefore, my beloved, be steadfast, don't move, always abound in the work of the Lord, knowing that the work you do in the Lord is not vain. He's a rewarder of those that diligently seek Him and draw nigh to Him. He'll bless your effort times 100. 2 Corinthians. By the way, He has a way to make your weight loss journey speed up or slow down. 1,000 years is like a day unto the Lord, and a day is like 1,000 years. But He said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Travis, I'm so weak. Well, thank God. The power of God cannot be magnified through your life until you get to that point. Good for you. Step 1 achieved. You know you're weak. The problem is you try to walk in your weakness alone. You need to walk with the Lord and in the Lord. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me. Ha ha! Somebody ought to say, bless the name of the Lord before every meal and after every meal. Next, you've got to uncover the habits. Here's where I want y'all to start interacting, and I'm going to come out of here for just a minute. Next, before you go to war, you've got to uncover, you've got to look for those landmines and make sure you don't step on them. We don't want to go out there half-cocked. Uncover the previous habits and the habits of today that led to your weight gain. Which ones of these habits do you identify with? Because these are landmines in your life. I want you to be transparent with us tonight. Not planning what you're going to eat and how much of it you're going to eat. In other words, you don't have a plan. You wake up, you got your mind on everything else, and eating is just something you do, and you do it mindlessly throughout the day. Bad habit. Eating out frequently without knowledge, not knowing how to combine foods properly, and without being mindful of your goals. You eat out, you're tired, you planned on cooking when you got home, but heck with it, I'm going to eat out, and that looks good on the menu board, give me them chips. Covered with all kind of chili and cheese or whatever. Buying snacks. Buying snacks. Low-calorie snacks, low-fat snacks, gluten-free snacks, but yet they're snacks that cause the fat bus to be released by the pancreas, no matter how low the calories are in them, and you can't lose weight. Eating while watching TV. This was one of the big landmines for me. Y'all, I'm telling you, I can just be nailing the day, nailing it. But when I start watching TV, if I'm not careful, instead of having an approved snack and an approved portion, I done have 4 or 5 of them snacks. Watch out for that trance machine. It'll put you in a trance, and before you know it, you've eaten not the right portion of Skinny Pop popcorn, but the entire bag. Bad habit. You have eating amnesia because you refuse to utilize a food journal. In other words, at the end of the day, you don't even know for sure what you did eat because you didn't keep up with it or record it as you were eating it. So you get food amnesia, and then the next day you tell somebody, I don't know why I'm not losing weight. In fact, I'm gaining weight, and I don't know why. Everything that goes in the orifice under your nose must be recorded. Late night boredom leads to late night snacking. You get still at night and you get bored and you start peeking in the pantry, peeking in the fridge. You need not do that. You better fix that household up. You better do a cabinet clean out, baby, or you're gonna keep messing up. You better put hey, some of you got your goals shut away in your little iPhone or whatever. Your goals, your dreams, your pain, your pleasure, you better put them on the pantry door and the fridge door, because that's the place you're going that's getting you in trouble. You graze all day. You feel like you got to have something in your mouth all darn day. And we just graze. We eat breakfast, and we got to find something else to knick-knack on, munch on. It's low calorie. It's not a big deal. And then we're just keeping our body chemistry all out of whack, unsettled all day, all the time, hormones running crazy, appetite doing this up and down. We graze. That's a bad, bad habit. Shopping while hungry. Shopping while hungry. Don't ever shop while hungry. Don't do it. Don't do it. You get yourself in trouble. Everything looks good when you're hungry. You drink alcohol socially, daily, weekly, or more frequently. See, we talk in our regular classes about protein, carbohydrates, and fat and how they break down. And we know that if we put bad fats with bad carbs, you got a recipe for disaster. Well, when we put them with alcohol breaks down into acetate. Now your body's got to burn through the acetate before it can even touch the carbs. So your body takes the carbs, turns them to fat, and the fat's already there in your system, and you store the fat. Too much for tonight. But drinking alcohol, unless you do it the way that we teach and do it very not often, you forget it. You can forget it. You just found another idol if you got to do that every day and your goal is to lose weight. Big trouble. Incorporate it the correct way and you'll lose weight. It's a bad habit. Consuming liquid calories. This is another one. When you consume liquid calories, your body doesn't have to do any breakdown. Your body doesn't have to break food down to get to the calories, the energy, the nutrition. But when you have a liquid that's liquid calories, unless it's straight up protein, when you have liquid calories, well, your body doesn't have to do any breakdown. So if any of them liquid calories are carbohydrate, you're going to have fat storage. You're going to have fat storage. You're going to have carbs turning into fat. You're going to have carbs sitting in the chute bus. There's nothing to slow down the fat bus when you consume liquid calories. Stay away from liquid calories when at all possible. And if you're going to have liquid calories, make sure they're SHIBI approved. Dumping condiments, sauces, and dressings on your meals. This is another big one. You could have a 1/4 cup of honey mustard dressing. And it's only 4 tablespoons. A 1/4 cup of that can be as high as 400 calories. When I order a meal and it's got sauce on it, even if I knew it had sauce, the sauce is going to get absorbed in there, but I scrape all the extra off. You got to watch out for condiments, sauces, and dressings, even on your approved combinations. You underestimate, it's a bad habit in life, underestimating the effort and change that losing weight will take. I didn't say it's hard, but effort's good for you. It's what makes life easier down the road. But underestimating the effort and the strictness and the change of mind and the change of heart especially, that losing weight will take, we underestimate it. You do not carry void replacements. You think you're above it. And when you don't carry void replacements to fill voids that you have, like the approved bread, you carry that into the restaurant. Instead of using their bread, you're going to get in trouble. Carrying your chips in, carrying your salad dressing in, because you'll make poor choices. Another bad habit. You might make excuses. Some of you may have already grown past this. I'm talking as though I'm talking to a new person one-on-one that doesn't feel like I'm calling them out in front of nobody, because it's just me and them having a heart-to-heart. You make excuses, are not teachable, and know everything. Sasha told me today that someone told her, I did this years ago. I know it. I already know all this. Do I have to come to class? And the first thing that the girl found out, Sasha found out, was they didn't even know that they couldn't have a carbohydrate by itself. They could not do that. They thought they could. So we got a lot to learn. So let's don't make excuses. Let's be teachable, coachable, trainable, good attitudes. We don't know everything. I don't know it. I learn stuff every day. You program hop. These are habits you got to break. At some point, look, it may sound like I'm lifting this thing up. I'm a believer in it. But I tell people, some of y'all have heard me say it. If Weight Watchers was working for you, why'd you leave? Well, I got bored. Well, you at least come to the right place, because we're not too boring and we'll help you. But a lot of times people hop from a program that's working and go to a program that's not going to work, especially these programs that permanently eliminate certain food groups. When you do that, you're just setting yourself up for weight gain again. It hurts my heart for people. They know it works, it's been working, and now they're going to go do the keto diet. Well, if you're going to do it for a few weeks and come back, I understand that. But if you think you're going to go make that a lifestyle, you're probably not in the statistical part of that makes it a lifestyle. Can some juggernaut do that? Certainly, but most people can't do that. You just can't ward off all food groups and expect to do that as a lifestyle, at least on a permanent basis. We do challenges where we leave off some things for a little while to get control, but we can have our taters, we can have our corn, we can have those things once we learn how to incorporate them into the program. Establish habits and make changes that fit within your lifestyle. It's got to be practical, sustainable, and fun. Cliche again, but it's so important that as you move forward over the next 4 weeks, completely learn and relearn the program, see it differently, I hope, that you make sure that you can incorporate this as a lifestyle. I do not think any reasonable person that I deal with, that has to deal with me, can come up with a reason that this is not practical and sustainable. You may be fascinated with new stuff, but this is going to wear off. It always wears off. You can do our challenges, you can do other people's challenges and lose weight, but can you do them forever? If you do a War on Weakness challenge, we have those. And you do a Quest bar for breakfast, a Quest bar for lunch, and then chicken breast and salad for dinner. Well, you'll lose weight that way, but you want to live for the rest of your life on a Quest bar? I don't think so. Learn the program in its entirety so that you have more in your arsenal of know-how. You should be able to shop at your local grocery store, or whatever program you're doing is not viable long-term. And I don't ever knock programs, but I'll give you an example. Nutrisystem. That's not a viable program. You may have done it, had success, but unless you're willing to buy those meals the rest of your life, not going to be successful. You have to be able to shop at your local grocery store. Another big one, everybody. This is a big one. You should know. You do not know it all until you know all of the swaps and all of the void replacements for things that you're giving up. This is a biggie. If I say Reese's, you should know what the swap is. If I say ice cream, you should know what the swap is. If I say hamburger bun, you should know what the swap is. Once you know that and you're able to apply it too, man, you got this thing. Nightstand rule, we talk about this in Relapse to Reloaded. It's helped a lot of people. You need to have your goals right by your bed. You need to review them before bed and in the morning. Don't be lulled into underestimating your problem. If overweight, this is a problem, and it's a big, big problem. The devil will try to lull you into complacency. That's how when you gain 5, it's not a big deal. When you gain 10, it's not a big deal. So what's 20? And before you know it, it's 200. The devil. It's the devil's fault. It's not even your fault. You did it. You've got the problem. You've got to take ownership. But there's another culprit here, and he's the devil. He's a deceiver. You've been deceived. Set meaningful, obtainable goals and mean it. You got to mean it. It does no good say, oh, let me sign the little commitment form and then not see it through. When you do that, I set you up for failure. If you sign that form and you don't take it seriously, you're actually doing your own heart and your own self-belief more damage. And the most important thing in getting through in this life is believing that God is for you, who can be against you, and believing in yourself. You need meaningful, obtainable goals, and the key is you got to mean it. Focus on what you can have and not on what you cannot have. In this program, remember, we're beginning tonight. We're getting to the home run stretch and getting to the categories of food. Focus on what you can have and not on what you cannot have. Yes, we've said it over and over. It bears saying again. Because here's what we do. This is just an example. This Crunch Bar may not be your thing. But if you like a Crunch Bar, why do you eat it because it's going to make you fat? No. You eat it because it tastes good. It's a temporary pleasure. It's a little instant gratification. It's mouth pleasure. Short-lived, but it's pleasure. You don't eat it because it gives you great energy. You don't eat it because it makes you feel more well. You eat it because it tastes good. But here's what I love about our planet. With very, very few exceptions, there's something that tastes just like it, sometimes even better, that has enough protein and fiber, nutrition in it to balance out any fat bus effect that we might get, neutralize the fat bus effect. So when I'm craving a Crunch Bar, that tastes good, but I get fat gain. Why wouldn't I focus on what tastes good and will be more filling and satisfying because of the nutrition in it? What happens when I focus on what tastes good but causes me to lose weight? Now I got pleasure, pleasure, pleasure all the time. With a Crunch Bar or whatever you put in there, you've got this. You've got, ought not do this, ought not do this. That's pain. That's emotional trauma. And then you do it anyway. Then you eat it. Well, you got pleasure. Then as soon as you're done, you've got regret. More emotional trauma. More loss of belief in oneself. So with the crunch bar, you've got pain, pain, pain. Excuse me, pain, pleasure, pain, pain, pleasure, pain. Some of y'all must be in the 50 Shades of Gray or whatever nutritionally. Pain, pleasure, pain, pain, pleasure, pain, pain, pleasure, pain. But if I have the crunch bar, I got pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. Hey, there's no guilt. It's time to eat. I'm following the program. I'm not going to eat these all day. I'm following the program. I got this in my survival kit. Yay me, go me. I don't say, I ought not do it. I ought not do it. It's time to eat. I'm allowed. I eat it. It tastes great. And then when I'm done, no guilt, no regret. Pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. Which one do you want? Do you see what I'm saying tonight? Doesn't make sense to look at this any other way. Prior preparation prevents poor performance. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. 3 days to a 1 week meal plan. Everybody over the next 4 weeks, not that you have to stick to it, but you need something that you can, focus on. Even if you make some adjustments on the fly. You need a 3 day to 1 week meal plan. Here's how I do it. I usually do mine 3 days out. And then for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and snacks, I write down 3 in each category, and I try to focus on those. Like breakfast for me might be an egg white omelet, might be berries with hemp flakes and some 000 yogurt, might be Advanced Health Systems pancakes. Lunch might be Wendy's chili. Mexican restaurant, 3 soft chicken tacos, no shells, grilled chicken salad. Dinner might be approved spaghetti, real good pizza with a side salad, so on and so forth. But now I've got something I can focus on, even if I make some edits on the fly. You need a plan. First 7 days. Now we're going to go over the first 7 days. I want to pull out of here real quick. Time for just 2 or 3 questions, and then I'm going to get right back to it, and then we'll go overtime. How's everybody doing so far? Because I am in the dark. Is anybody happy, sad, satisfied, not satisfied? Bathroom break. I need one. Does anybody want to take a break? No, we'll keep going. Somebody who's at, I can't see the whole name, and I'm going to pray for them. They say, I'm nervous of failing again. You will if you fear failure. The Bible says, when can we all get back to the Bible? The Bible says that the way to get rid of fear is how. Does anybody know what cast out fear tonight? Arlene, what cast out fear? Thank you, Emily. Thank you. God bless you. Perfect love. You see, I get rid of my fear. I won't have time for fear when I love and trust God. I won't have time for fear when I love and trust myself and love others around me and love my goals that are godly goals. You don't have time for no fear. There's no such thing as failure. Only people that fail here are those that just flat out quit. They flat out quit. Any questions before we move forward with the first 7 days? Any questions? 2 or 3 questions. We're going to move on. Yes, you're going to get copies of everything if you submitted the commitment form. Yes, hemp hearts can be used interchangeably with hemp flakes. Anybody else? We just asked you that you don't give our materials out so we can keep our thing going for those members that support us. That's all we ask. Don't give it out unless the Lord tells you to. And then I'll just swallow hard and say, well, if the Lord told you to, who am I? I'm not the Lord. Everything that I have is just on loan. It don't belong to me. It might have went through my brain, but it don't belong to me. It belongs to the Lord. Thank you. Thank you. If you want to sign up for sign the commitment form, got to do it before midnight. www.myzerodrag.com. www.myzerodrag.com. Sorry, getting tongue tied trying to get y'all through this. Booyah! There it is, right there. I'd have to see, but if it's hemp hearts, go for it. I like Rocky Mountain Grains products. They're organic, embryonic, the best. But if it's hemp hearts, it's hemp hearts. Maybe you're talking Nutiva brand. There's several brands. Okay, we'll get back to it for folks that's got to go and wants to finish this out. Here we go. First 7 days, y'all. First 7 days. And we'll have more for you. Talk more about this stuff next Monday night at 9 o'clock. Daily rations. Yes, we teach the shield and that all applies here. I've just laid it out a little different. Nothing's changed. If you've watched your daily doses, took the test, passed the test, earned the badge, all we're doing is like we need to do sometimes. Go back to the basics. Your daily rations. You can have 3 meals. Now, normally, I get that you can have 3 meals, a snack, and freebies, but I don't want this group doing that for 7 days. I want to walk you back into this. 3 meals in a day with no snacks, no freebies. You could do that. You could do 2 meals a day if you're not hungry. Don't do 2 meals. 2 meals has actually been proven over and over again, despite what you hear in the fake nutritional news world, has been proven over and over again to be probably the healthiest way to eat because your food has plenty of ample time to digest. It's proven to be false that eating multiple meals per day, even for an elite athlete, is healthy long term. It's not healthy for them long term. They have to do it for certain, the muscular parts of it and building. You and I, we're not professional athletes. It's just not somebody may have a great body, but it's not a wellness thing to eat all day. Your digestive system's never getting a break. If you're not hungry, 2 meals, don't skip a meal to lose weight faster. You can skip meals to fast unto the Lord. You can skip meals because you're not hungry, but don't let a real appetite build up and then you go on a binge. 3 meals and extras and freebies. So in other words, I'm having 3 meals and I just need a little something extra to get through. Have some pickles. Have some extras or freebies. Something that's 0 calories, sugar-free Jell-O. 2 meals and 1 snack. So if you want something that qualifies as a snack, like a Power Crunch bar can be a snack or a meal. So one of the things I like, if I'm feeling depleted on my intermittent fasting days when I'm just doing 2 meals, we keep in the freezer those Power Crunch bars. And I'll take one of those, sometimes just a half of one, and I'll eat that. So that's 2 meals and a snack. So first 7 days, I want you to shoot for this kind of daily ration, types of daily rations. Any WOW Challenge meal plan is always good for weight loss. So if you're familiar with those, we're not going over them tonight, but if you're already familiar with those on the website, you can do any of those any day you want to. Meal portions. I'm going to give you several options depending on your personality. You can eat the combinations off a 6 to 8 inch plate. You could use the 2-hand rule that we teach through the daily doses. Men, this is the sweet spot. I don't want you to obsess about this, but if you're a calorie counter, this is the sweet spot for weight loss. 200 to 400 calories for a meal. Females, the sweet spot is 200 to 300 calories, even 350 if you're intermittent fasting. This is the sweet spot during the weight loss phase. If you go a little over, a meal or two. It's not a big deal if your combination was right. But this is the sweet spot. Your timing should be minimum 4 to 6 hours between each meal. Minimum. You can go longer, but minimum. So in other words, I should have just said 4 hours. I like to see people approach the 6 hours more though. And of course, when they're sleeping, they're going to get a longer fast than that. Gives your food time to digest and gives you an opportunity to see just how perverse your food addiction is when you're freaking out. You had a meal. There's people that human body can go 30 days without eating, not without water, but without eating. We don't want you to do that. Not asking you to do that. But when folks are talking about starving to death and they're getting 3 meals a day and they're talking about starving? What? We have a weight problem. We're talking about starving? And they can't go 6 hours without freaking out? There's something wrong. I'm hoping that the wounds of your friend are faithful to you instead of just kissing you, telling you what you want to hear. I know that you hear the truth of what I'm saying right now because I know that this part of what I'm saying is the Spirit. I know this part is the Holy Spirit within me. Everything I say isn't. The Bible says all men are liars. But I'm telling you, I know this part comes from the Holy Spirit, and if you'll ask and search your heart, you know it will too. We're going to say we're starving to death because we haven't eaten in 6 hours? There's something wrong. There's something wrong. There's something spiritually wrong with that. Miscellaneous. You need to journal. Hopefully on the website or in the journal app, save and sync. But even if you have to write it, if that's your deal. If you bite it, you write it, you hog it, you log it, you nibble it, you scribble it. Skit. Carry a survival kit, whether you use it or not. Better to have it, not need it, than need it, not have it, my friends. We're not going breads yet, but have your void replacements in there. Your salad dressings, your Walden Farms calorie-free salad dressing, your light Italian, whatever, some bran crisp bread, some peanut butter. Have your survival kit with you. Come to class. Come to class. You need to keep this stuff top of consciousness. Here's your combination chart. This is what we're going to be talking about over the 4 weeks. The red column and the yellow column are the best for these are the fastest fat loss combinations. These are literally exercise in a column. Okay? But people mess up when they think they can never go to the blue column. You can. But with the blue column, this requires more self-discipline, but it's allowed. You'll still get weight loss. You'll still get fat loss. You'll have more variety. But for folks going crazy with lost control, self-control, self-discipline, or anytime you do so in the future, it's good to go back to column 1, column 2. I dare to say that during the weight loss phase, 80% of what you eat should be from the first 2 columns, 20% from the blue column. But then when you reach your wellness and ideal your ideal weight zone, 80% of what you eat should be from the blue column. Things change. This is not a no-carb program. You can have carbohydrate and you can have fruit. We want you to. But we want you to do it a small percentage of the time when you start. First week, first 7 days, these are the foods we're focusing on. Category 1, egg whites, fish, all fish, chicken breast, turkey breast, pork tenderloin, boar's head turkey, boar's head chicken breast, boar's head London broil, low-fat cottage cheese, fat-free cottage cheese, Greek plain yogurt, Hebrew national, 97% lean, beef frank, 96% lean ground meat. If you're looking for the name brands, all you have to do is go into the food library and search these words, and you'll find enough name brands of these products, like the type of cottage cheese or yogurt. Hemp heart, hemp flake category. Hemp hearts, hemp flakes, hemp crumbles, sweet hemp flakes, hemp protein powder. Now, if you don't like something up here, you don't have to eat it. There's plenty more. You just void out what you don't like. Category 4, protein plus fat. Whole eggs, steak, pork ribs, beef ribs, turkey spam, pulled pork, beef brisket, 93% lean up to 95.9% lean ground meat. Turkey kielbasa, 50% calories from fat or less. Only look in the library for kielbasa, and you'll find several brands that are approved. Going through our proteins first. Every plate needs to have a protein source on it. Let me say that again. Every plate has to have a protein source on it. Pintos, black beans, red beans, soybeans, peanut butter, nuts, seeds. Category 6, superfood. Category 7, crab, lobster, shrimp, scallops, oysters, mussels, clams. Every plate must have a protein source on it. And as long as you stay within your portions and your calorie range, depending on if you're a calorie person or a portion person, you can mix all those proteins that was in those lists, but you still have to stay within your portions, even if you are having surf and turf. Then you got your category 2 fibrous carbs. Broccoli, asparagus, squash, okra, green leafy vegetables, spinach, cabbage, cucumbers, bell peppers, hot peppers, cauliflower, kraut, dill pickles. Let's go on and call, I don't see green bean on here, go on and call green bean a green leafy vegetable. All right, it's fine. It's just an oversight. Condiments. A1, reduced sugar ketchup, mustard, light Italian dressing, 0-calorie Walden Farms, 25-calorie seasoning packs of any type. That's your Hidden Valley Ranch stuff, McCormick spaghetti sauce mix, so on and so forth. You've got a list of condiments, things that you can add to your perfectly combined portion meal to give them more pizzazz. Cooking oils and fats, you should use at home 100% MCT oil, coconut oil, ghee butter, hemp oil, or Pam or 0-calorie cooking spray. You could also use fat-free bouillon, okay? You can steam foods, broil in water. Don't have to even have a fat. When you're eating out, we don't have to worry about that your first 7 days. We don't have to worry about what cooking fat they're using. It doesn't matter because we're not adding 3s and 5s yet. So if I go out and I have salmon and broccoli, as long as my hands cover it and I take the rest home and have tomorrow, I gotta exercise on the plate. Meal replacements. Got asked by more than one person, please don't put any meal replacements on there. Real food only, please. Well, we also have more people than that eat on the go, right? So we've got meal replacements. If you don't want meal replacements, you don't have to use meal replacements. But these are your meal replacements that are available the first 7 days. Mainly, I put these up here because we got a lot of people that has these in stock already. They got them in their pantry and they want to use it. So this is a good week to use these. Mighty Muffin, Advanced Health Systems cereal, 0-calorie content. Ciabola high protein hot chocolate with or without ghee. There's a whole list here. Ciabola protein bar, oh yeah, 1 bar, Quest bar. Real good enchiladas, real good pizza. Any of your meals can be a meal replacement that's approved. In fact, they control calories better. Let me stop now. Any questions about what to do the first 7 days? Any question on what to do the first 7 days? Let me read it to you. It might be easier. Now, we are going to send this to you in a PDF format. May be easier not to share. Category 7 is any shellfish. Crab, lobster, shrimp, scallops, oysters, mussels, clams. And you could go on and say any shellfish that you want. Yes, category 6 is considered a protein source. It's a superfood, but it's also a protein source. If you go with the first 2 columns, you're gonna have every. Let me do share because I want to show you something. I think it'll help some of you. I went over it really quick. My apologies. Let me show you. I'm just trying to be careful not to bump myself out. Okay. With the categories I've given you, you're able to use column 1 and column 2 with ease. And you can add a condiment to these. Note that there is no bread your first week. I don't know we've ever done a challenge where we said no bread this week. If you want bread, you're going to have some type of sandwich. Say that you're having turkey breast and you want it on a sandwich. Get some big, right now everybody's afraid of hearts of romaine, but we just bought some yesterday. But because of the recall on it. But anyway, I use hearts of romaine, any big, like what's that, butter lettuce or something. I forget what it's called. It's a big leaf. Most of my sandwiches now, I just wrap in some type of lettuce wrap. But I want to get you off into an incredible start. Now, I want you to know that next week we're going to spend time talking about when you do incorporate approved breads, for a day or two, you might have a little bump up with your weight, but you'll still be losing fat. I want to teach you that too. I want to teach you what happens and how your body's affected by certain types of foods, but that doesn't mean it stops losing fat. It just means you retain a little fluid, and then I can almost, if you're honest about what you eat, I can almost predict what you're going to weigh after you eat it. Let me find that category 7 again. And we are going to send this to you, okay? Category 7. We do ask you on the honor system, don't give our materials out. Help us. We're a ministry first and foremost. We try to be about the Father's business. That means we have to have business principles, and we can't stay here if everybody just freely gives us stuff out. And number 1, it won't work. I trust our members. Since Shibboleth, I just said I'm going to trust our members. I look at it like Gamaliel said. He said if they do something and it works out, helps people, saves lives, it's of God. How are you going to stop them? But if it doesn't work out, and what I see a lot when people don't know how to properly teach this stuff, does more harm than good, because people think it don't work because they don't understand the difference between a perfect day and a holiday, or what's okay. So anyway, that's my rant for the day. Y'all help us preserve what we're doing, please. Okay, any more? Will I be able to go back and rewatch the few minutes? Yes, we did record this. Now it's a long video, so it'll be processing for at least an hour, and then it'll make its way to the website tomorrow. Today was day 1. We sent out some ideas. If you had a holiday today, just mark that in your journal. If you had a perfect day, just mark that. But we just gave some ideas until we could get you into class. Tomorrow marks day 1. I'm aware that you might not have all the inventory that you want to eat, that you want to consume. It doesn't matter. You could eat air until you get to the grocery store. Because remember, we're all going to war. We're going to have fun. We're going to go to war. And we're going for, whether we make it or not, we're going to make it close. We're going for 20 pounds. Sharon asked, and sometimes I think, we accidentally read between the lines too much. I thought Shibboleth bread was healthier than WW bread. It is. It is. But the first week, I don't want you to have any bread. We have a bread addiction, and I'm asking you to give up that thing that you love for a week. It's not that it's not good. It's not that we're not going to incorporate it. We're just giving you another vantage point, another way of looking at the program over 4 weeks. No bread the first week, please. Yeah, Pam says, if I eat bread, I have about a 2-pound weight gain. Just remember, if it's approved bread, it's because you hadn't had bread in a while. Then you eat approved bread, you retain a little fluid. That fluid comes right back off. We want to teach you that over 4 weeks. There's no reason that you should be afraid of bread, that you should be afraid of fruit, that you should be afraid of complex carbs, as long as you understand what happens in the short term. But it's not the long term. Shouldn't be afraid of it. Advocare shakes are an approved shake, so they're fine. Advocare shakes are approved, yes. Yes. Avoid the trolls. Don't roll with trolls, right, Julie? So would the sweet potato quiche not work for the first week? I just pulled it out of the oven, but if not, I'll freeze it. I'd have to see the recipe because I don't eat it. It's probably something we've looked at, put in the library. Since I don't eat it, I don't have it in my mind. I don't think you're talking about mock sweet potato, which would be butternut squash. If you're talking about true sweet potato, I'd freeze it. I'd go to war. Sounds good, though. We have approved muffin breads, Stephen. There are approved ones. But not for the first week. Can you have the imitation crab? Not for the first week, and maybe beyond. Imitation crab typically has a lot of starch in it. It is approved on the regular program, but y'all remember, the regular program, it's not connecting with you. My whole purpose with this 4 weeks, all I'm doing is taking it, spinning it on its head, and doing what a coach is supposed to do, give you another perspective. Because if Shibboleth was connecting with you, Miss Sandra, you'd be doing Shibboleth. But it's not connected with you. So I'm trying to give you another look, with a fresh look at the program from a few different angles. And I want to teach it. And since we can't teach it all tonight, let's stay away from imitation crab for week 1. Just for week 1. No bread for week 1. No bread for week 1, Leanne. Bio coffee. I believe that was on. I didn't add beverages. I'll add beverages. Maybe I did, but I can't remember. But anyway, bio coffee, there's certain times to have that. We will spell that out when we send you your email. I had approved pizza on Joseph, not today, but I don't think it's not on here for next week because we're not having bread. But you didn't know that today. You did what you did. If you had an approved pizza, you're fine today. You can do this, Tish. No, you didn't goof. You didn't goof. Don't worry, Julie. Now's when you'd be goofing. As long as you had a perfect day, you had a perfect day. Don't worry. I told y'all, I hope I told you that I'm just giving you some ideas to get through the day. when I did the last video. Now we give you the full 7 day. This is the full Monty for 7 days. That's right. You did say that if we were more beginners, we could eat what we knew of the program today. Now you know what we're doing for 7 days, and I hope that you'll do that. If you have a holiday market, this isn't a challenge, ain't no tapping out. But I just know how good you'll feel if you can see this through for 4 weeks. We will, after this video processes, Carrie, we will be sending it to everybody that filled out their commitment form. Today was day 1. We'd already done a video, an orientation video, not an orientation, but a class video, announced this tonight. Today was day 1, but you did not have to follow these rules because you did not have these rules. You would have only had to have had a regular perfect day. Regular coffee's approved, no calorie, must be approved coffee. Advocare shakes are fine. Today's email, you said peanut butter with wassa. That's because we didn't go over this. That was for the other day, and I was giving you things you already knew. So I didn't want to confuse you. You know, we'd already taught an hour the other night. Was just trying to give you enough to get through Monday, and we did that. And if you did it, you had a perfect day. Now we get serious. Was bacon on the list? If bacon's on the list and you use an approved bacon, you're good. Just go by my list, though, that you will get. You will get it. Go by the list. Please go by the list. I can't remember if I put approved bacon on category 4. I'll look for you real quick. Whole egg steak, pork ribs, beef ribs, turkey spam, pulled pork, beef brisket. Nope, there's no turkey bacon. Let's keep it simple. If it's not on the list, it's not on the list. No wraps, Becky. No wraps the first week. Let me look and see if avocados are approved. I can't remember. Condiments. I don't see avocados. No avocados first week. Mighty Muffins is already on the list. Mighty Muffins is a meal replacement. It's on the list. No Go Lean and Carb Master Milk for week 1. It's not on the list. It will be on the list. It's not on the list. What if I don't do it? What if I just do, remember, this isn't a challenge. So if you say, what if I just do what I want to do? Well, okay. I mean, we're not going to let you tap. You're not going to tap. You may not get all the same benefits inside and out without trying to follow what we're setting up here. Remember, if Shibboleth is so much variety, if it was connecting with you, you'd already have reached your goal. So what I'm trying to do is help you reconnect with Shibboleth. You do that by starting more slowly. Does that make sense? If I could get y'all, every time we start a challenge, everybody gets so excited they want to add everything, and I'm sitting there thinking, y'all know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there, somebody give me a witness that's listening to all this. I'm sitting there thinking, why don't they just do the regular program? Life sure would be a lot easier. We don't love it until we start trying to take it away from you. Then we love it, right? But we're gonna rebuild. We're gonna rebuild. Need to do this from time to time. Yeah, Patricia would be right. She found a loophole. Lord have mercy. Patricia Hurt found a loophole. She's like a politician. If it's on the WOW Challenge meal plan, remember we said you could do that? You can sneak and get some bread in. there's your loophole. You can sneak and get some bread in, because there's no way I'm taking a WOW Challenge meal plan away from anybody, because it's structured and it works. So if you choose to do a WOW and you know the deal with a WOW Challenge meal plan, if you declare you're going to do it, you must do it. So if you choose a WOW Challenge meal plan that has some of these things on it that y'all want, there's one that's got bacon on it, there's one that's got bread on it, several, then you'd be safe if it's a WOW Challenge meal plan. I'm going to miss a lot of stuff here, y'all, and I apologize. Good night, Gail. Good night. No popcorn, Becky. It's not on the list. Patricia's done 51 meal challenges. No wonder she's at ideal weight. Just to, Melissa says they're great. WOW Challenge meal plans are great, but if you choose bread, you will lose slower. Not necessarily. What happens is, and that's what I want to teach y'all, not necessarily. It's that you're retaining a little fluid. Are you losing weight fast or slower? Yes. Are you losing fat slower? No. We got to start distinguishing the difference. What makes up one's weight? Fat, muscle, water, glycogen, bone. So if you haven't had bread in a while, then you have bread. You're going to slow down or gain a little bit, but it's just water. It's hard to get folks to understand that. Liz, the WOW Challenge meal plans are in the part of the website called Resources. Then there's a link called Challenges, and then you'll see WOW, W-O-W, War on Weakness meal plans. And you click the button to accept one, and then you must stick with it or tap out of it. So it's a game we play, and you lose weight fast. Angie says she's after my heart. Keep it simple, y'all. Denise says, I wish they wouldn't ask for things to be added. Because, well, it's just shibboleth. We love shibboleth. I wish everybody would just do that. But we got to freshen it up a little bit for you. Reconnect it to you. Anybody else before we go? Quick vote here, quick vote. How many of you want a separate group to do this? A separate Facebook group, or you just want to do it in the regular members only group? We'll do a quick poll. Okay. Some people saying regular, some people saying separate. It looks like a lot more separate. Okay, I'll do a separate one as long as y'all are okay. It's 10:34, and I got a lot of work to do to get this all to y'all by tomorrow morning. As long as y'all are okay with me getting you that link to the new group tomorrow, I'll get that to you. We just, if y'all don't want it, we don't want to do it. We want to do it if it's a help, but our team has to monitor all these groups. So send me $5, it make me want to do it more. Thank you, Sandra. God bless you. Thanks. Thank you, Jeremy. God bless. Won't ever give up on you. Thank y'all. Herbal cleanse is good. It would be a good time to do herbal cleanse. Yeah, if you hadn't done a cleanse in a while, Jessica, it'd be a good time to do it. Pretty good meal plan to do it with, I'd say. Oh yeah, we're gonna stay connected. We're definitely gonna stay connected. We can do it on members only if we have to, but we can do another group. We'll all buckle down and try to stay on top of it and support it. 4 weeks. We can do anything for 4 weeks. Anybody else? It's a good one to start with. Keep it real simple. Christy Branson, keep it real simple. This is a good one to start with. We're going to start 7 days at a time. Let's do 1s and 2s, 4s and 2s, 7s and 2s. Simple, just simple. Good night, everybody. Hope y'all enjoyed tonight. I enjoyed connecting with you. I'm going to get off here. Questions are slowing down, but we'll be here for you. It's not like we're going to go away. So email us questions when you start getting your information tomorrow. I'm going to start processing this so y'all can get it early tomorrow. And Sasha's got to enter all the commitment form email addresses so that we can keep up with this group. If you don't send your commitment form in by midnight, we'll not get in. And not out of meanness, we want it to be we want to have a role and know these are the people going through it. Folks that want to go through the 4-week class next time, they have to wait till we launch another one. All right, y'all. We love you. Good night, everybody. Now, by the way, if you sent your stuff in and we miss it, we're still going to let you in. So if you miss it because of us, and that's going to be probable, we'll let you in. We're not hard arses. All right. Later, everybody. Talk to you later.